There's a phrase you'll hear a lot in cybersecurity. SOC analysts ignore most alerts. But that sounds reckless, doesn't it? Almost negligent? But it misunderstands the job. SOC analysts don't ignore alerts because they're lazy. They ignore alerts because reacting to everything is impossible and, to be honest, quite dangerous. The biggest misconception is that alerts equal danger, and they don't. Alerts are raw signals, nothing more, nothing less. Without context, they're just noise. This is what a real SOC dashboard looks like. It's noisy on purpose, and I want to point out a little couple things here. First off, there's already 442 alerts, and this has only been running for about 10 minutes. I also want to point out that there's only one machine on this entire network, and it's a sole Windows 11 machine, freshly booted up. There's nothing on it, no scripts running, no browsers running, nothing at all to suggest that it's doing anything at all that would be impractical, yet it's already got 442 alerts. That's insane. Now, if we scroll down a little bit, we can start to see a little bit of what's going on here. On the far left-hand side, on our SOC dashboards, we can see the time. Now, this gives us a good information of when the attack is going on. And I say attack, but this isn't an attack. It's just normal traffic. We can see the technique being utilized. Now, this has to do proportionately with the MITRE framework. We can also see the tactics that are being utilized, a description of what's going on, in this case, Windows logon success, and then, of course, the level associated with it right here, and finally, the rule ID. Now, all of this is great information to have, especially if I'm in a SOC environment. Now, just to give you some context to what's going on here, now we have our technique, and the technique is how they're doing what they're trying to do. In this case, it's not an attacker, it's just Windows. Don't worry, we'll get into the actual dashboards in a different video, but for today, we're just going to concentrate on the alerts. So we've got our technique, and our technique is how they're doing it. And if I were to click on this link, it would give it to me. Our tactic is why the attacker is doing something. In this case, it's not an attacker, it's Windows. And we can see here that it's just logging in. That's the description of the event. Our level, however, goes all the way to 15. I just showed you all those alerts, not because I want you to think that a SOC analyst is all that glorious of a job, but for you to understand that alert fatigue is a real thing. And it doesn't happen because SOC analysts stop caring. It happens when the volume exceeds human attention, which we can tell with 47 pages already. It's exceeded human attention already. If everything is critical in a SOC, then nothing is. Here's what you need to remember. Alerts are not incidents. Incidents are alerts with intent, impact, or correlation. The distinction drives everyday SOC decisions. Here's what you need to remember. Successful logins exist for auditing and baselining. If the user, system, and the time all make sense, then it's expected behavior. Ignoring it isn't incompetence. Ignoring it is part of your job. And if you don't ignore it, you're wasting valuable time that you could be spending on real alerts, real incidents. Services start and stop constantly. We can see that one right here. And updates, patches, and reboots, they all cause this. So when you're looking at logs, or if you're ever working in a SOC and you're looking at logs, the context matters more than anything else. You have to understand the differences of what's supposed to be there versus what's not supposed to be there. We have to be aware that informational antivirus alerts confirm protection is actually working. They're not detections. Responding wastes time and attention from the analyst. PowerShell is often logged because it could be abused, but execution does not mean it's suspicious all the time. We have to track accurately everything that's going on with the system, but that's not always possible. If we see a lot of PowerShell going on and off, that just may be that it's a normal part of the system as it's going through. It's the network connection, the network calls. That's what we're looking for more often than not within a security operations center. Remember, if it's not escalating permissions or if it's not hitting the network at full speed and doing something abnormal, chances are we're not going to go investigate it. If we see a bunch of failed login attempts, it could be that somebody's trying to gain access to the system and they're not authorized. It could be that somebody's trying to brute force their way into one of our laptops or even our desktops. It could even mean that somebody is being malicious and trying to hack into the system. Or it could just be that somebody forgot their password. That happens more often than you might think, where somebody tries a password 4 or 5 times, and then, let's be honest, they left the caps lock button on, or they pressed the wrong shift button, or one of the keys stuck. I've seen that one before too. The fact is that not every alert is a security incident. Sometimes it's just human error with human beings being human beings. Here's the thing. If you really want to get into the SOC environment, understand that working with the IT team is probably paramount for everything that we do. They could be raising security permissions, and if they don't tell us and we see those unexpected privilege changes, that's a giant blast radius. And that means that we're going to go through the roof trying to figure out exactly what happened. It's always investigated when permissions change. I can recall when we had a new manager start up and they had been recently promoted. They were literally an IT technician level 2, and they got promoted into the senior level spot. Their permissions changed, and no one told cybersecurity. I don't want to say that we rushed to figure out what was going on, but when somebody on the IT team suddenly has permissions for a lot of systems, things get a little bit chaotic, and it caused a lot of ruffling within the company. When that happens, we have to ask certain questions. Why was it done, first off? Anytime we see an IT personnel, or anybody for that matter, have their privileges immediately escalated, we start to get a little bit concerned. The next question we had to ask, once we figured out that it was actually internal and was supposed to be there, was, why does a manager need all these permissions? They're not working on servers anymore. Why are they doing it? And the fact was, it's because they were a level 2 technician before, and they thought in their mind that, hey, I now have more permissions because I'm a manager. That goes against everything in cybersecurity, and needless to say, we fixed it. Here's the thing that you need to remember. One alert rarely matters, if ever. Yeah, you'll get the occasional password was declined, you'll get a new connection was formed, but in of itself, alone, really not that big of a deal. However, when we start to articulate it with other alerts, and we see it as a correlation of created events, then we might get a little bit concerned, such as domain user group changed, user account enabled, user group changed. When this is done together, we can start to see a pattern, especially when it was done twice. Very rarely do we add users to a same group all at once, especially if we haven't been notified. When it comes to certifications, you have to understand that certifications teach concepts. They don't teach applied judgment. They don't teach applied experience. However, there are some certifications that try to instill that SOC mentality, and CYSA is one of those. If you're studying for CYSA, I've linked the exact course and practice exams I recommend in the description and below. You can also find my own CYSA course on Udemy. But moving on. Now, none of the things I showed you were out of the ordinary, and let's be honest here, I did them all on my own. But the important thing to understand about being a SOC analyst is we have to ask ourselves some very important questions. Is it expected? Does this match normal behavior for this user, the system, the time, and the role? Let's take an example. A domain user logs in at 8:47 a.m. from their assigned workstation. That user is logged in roughly at the same time every weekday for months. The alert is expected. The reason it's expected is because it's normal business hours. It's a known user. It's a known device, and there's no anomalies associated with it. We have to ask ourselves, is this new? For example, if a PowerShell executes on a system that's never used PowerShell before, it's never been on this host, and the command line is unfamiliar and hasn't been observed historically, then does it matter? This new behavior breaks our baseline. It's a first-time execution, which is a major signal. And it's worth validating the intent behind the PowerShell script. I know some of you are looking at my PowerShell script and going, did he just run ping? Yes, I did. Is the alert correlated? Does this alert connect to other activity on the system or on the network in a meaningful way? We're not talking about the fact that I've got 3 alerts from the same system and they have nothing to do with each other. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, is it a single isolated event? Are there other supporting signals? Is there a progression of activity? If none of these take place, then it's not correlated. Finally, we need to ask ourselves, does this increase risk right now, this very instant? Does this change our exposure or our potential to impact? Will it cause our network problems? If it has no blast radius increase, if there's no time sensitivity, if it can be reviewed later, then the answer is no. It doesn't need to be investigated right this second. It can wait. Here's the thing. Everybody wants to go out and buy the newest AI. Everybody wants to look at AI and go, that's what we need to fix all of our problems. This is the next generation, and we're gonna solve tomorrow's great problems because we've got AI. And the problem with that is that tools generate data. Analysts generate decisions. And the problem is, no matter how great AI becomes, it will never replace the human mind. Judgment is the real skill when it comes to SOC analysts. Judgment is why SOC analysts starting pay is around $65,000 a year. Now, if you found any of this content helpful, I would really appreciate that like and subscribe. Just remember, ignoring alerts isn't negligence. It's restraint. Security is context. Security is judgment. Until next time,